Then the door was opened. Tack peered in. The stone steps seemed to go down forever. On the walls were torches flickering as they showed the way. Down and down they went. All Tack could hear was the sound of his own footsteps echoing behind him. The walls were wet and cold. "How much farther is it?" asked Tack. "If we keep going much longer, we will fall through the end of the land." The guard laughed. "It may be deep, which makes it impossible to dig your way out, but it's not that deep. Anyway, we're on the last steps now." They reached the bottom and turned a corner. There in front of them stretched a long dark corridor with many doors. At the end stood the officer who had just been sentenced to death. The guards pushed him through a doorway and slammed the door shut behind him. One of the guards shouted, "Not so high and mighty now, are you? Where's all your power now?" Both the guards roared with laughter. "Look, Auntie," said one of the children. "It's the dragon who left Dad with his armour. I wonder why he is here." The dragon turned round and snapped, "I'm here because I didn't check that your father was really dead. Now it appears he is alive and I must die for my mistakes." He went and sat in the corner of the cell. Then the door opened once again and Tack walked in. "Leave us," he said to the guard. "Oh, I don't know about that." "Remember what the king said?" Tack reminded him. "Of course, I'm going," said the guard. So Tack looked round and saw Elk with all the children sitting round her. He walked over and asked, "Do you know Fox?" "Yes, he's my brother. Is it true that he's alive?" "Yes, how do you know? That dragon told us he is the reason Fox is alive." "Wait here a moment, I'll be back." Tack walked over to the dragon and said, "Is it true that you, a dragon, saved Fox?" "Yes, to my misfortune I did. I listened to the pleadings of these miserable wretches and I am to die for my kindness," said the dragon. "Let me tell you something. You will not die. I shall cast a spell on you which will protect you from death. They may cut your head off, but I promise you on my honour that you will live with your head intact. But if you try to utter a word to the king or any other dragon, you will choke on your own words and die in minutes. And the spell will only protect you from dragons, so you can't use the power to take what you want from anyone else. You are only invincible to dragons. You can be killed by others. Remember that," warned Tack. "Thank you," replied the officer. Tack returned to talk to Elk. "Now listen to me carefully," said Tack. "I can't talk for long. Help is on the way." "What made you pick me to talk to?" asked Elk. "Because you had all those children around you, and they look very much like Fox. Is there anything you need?" asked Tack. "Yes, some food and fresh water," said Elk. "Guard, guard," shouted Tack. "Yes, sir." "Go and fetch some food and fresh water from the kitchen," said Tack. But, stammered the guard. "Don't butt me or I'll have your head," said Tack. "I'm going, and make it quick." "What's wrong with your child?" inquired Tack. "It's an infection," Elk replied. "I'm worried he's going to die." "No, he won't. I will sort him out." So again, as he had done many times before, Tack took his staff, waved it over the child's arm and said, "Make this child free from harm, so his mother may be calm." Then there was a puff of smoke and the wound was gone. "Thank you, whoever you are. If you see Oak, tell him I love him and I am safe and well," said Elk. Tack looked towards the officer and pointed his staff at him. "Do you want the bargain? If you don't, you will die anyway. Whatever you tell the king, he will not let you live. You know that, don't you?" said Tack. "Yes, I know. I will take the deal," said the dragon. Then from the end of the staff came a flash of light. The dragon was surrounded by a glow, a force field that would keep him safe. "When the food gets here," said Tack, "you must not say thank you, any of you. It would look suspicious. You are meant to be slaves." Then the locks were turned back. "Here's your food and water." 4 dragons walked in with trays piled high with meat, vegetables and fruit. "These people are to have 3 square meals a day, or as the gods are my witnesses, I'll have your heads," said Tack. He looked at Elk and winked. "I will have you for my woman. I promise we will be back to get you out of this rotten, stinking hole," he added softly. The dragon officer got up to join in the feast, but one of the guards threw a hard loaf at him, hitting him on the head. "This is not for you." So the dragon went back to his corner.